suppose now is a good time to get going. Hello my dears, my name is Shara and welcome to the stream. It's time to continue the adventures of Momo. Her new outfit is cute AF. Ooh. We could start out the stream with the holiday event. The Easter event, aka Hatching Tide in the Final Fantasy XIV universe, started on the 9th, so it is now active and it starts in Gridania, where we currently are. So maybe I'll give that a start, or maybe I'll use that to start off the stream, rather. And then we'll focus on story. Okay, hello. I'm going to accept this mission real quick. And actually no, let's do the holiday thingo first. Yeah, but it's always at the amphitheater. Because every city has... Oh yeah, welcome to the delight... I unironically love this music. It is the Hatching Tide music. Courteous Collector. Good morning, friend. Might you be interested in learning about the Hatching Tide festivities? A fledgling festival, Hatching Tide was born of a prophetic dream visited upon a Gridanian maiden named Jili Aliapo. In her dream, the 12 Archons of old appeared, those heroes who saved the realm from the destruction of the 6th Umbral Calamity. Descending from the heavens atop by beautifully decorated eggs, they said to Jili, "Arise, young dreamers, and make ready the vessels for our return." And so she did, painstakingly painting and gilding eggs to match those from her vision. Word of the prophecies spread, and Jili attached helpers to assist in her toils. After the calamity, the festival grew further, as townsfolk and adventurers flocked to celebrate the Archons of yore, who many believe had some hand in delivering the realm once again. Until 5 years ago, this amphitheater stood in the northern part of the city. Then the calamity struck and all but leveled the poor place. Thankfully, the Carpenters Guild collected up the pieces, carried them over here, and rebuilt it just as it was before. I cannot go a single day without looking it over, so afraid am I, that some chip or stain has marred its perfection. Chip or stain, but these glowing paintings of eggs are just fine. Egg advocate. I'll buy one of them. Let's see what it does. These are... Aw, it made eggies! That's adorable. Alright, Jili. In pursuit of excellence, Jili Aliapo has a great deal to say about Hatching Tide. Hatching Tide is upon us once more. I hope the season finds you in excellent fettle. My name is Jili Aliapo, and I lead this annual celebration. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. May I ask your name? Well, Momo, I hope this is the beginning of a firm friendship. While I have your attention, allow me to expound upon the nature of this year's festivities. Hatching Tide has its origins in the days before the 7th Umbral Calamity, when 12 sages of an era past appeared to me in a startling vision. I've been visited by such dreams ever since, and this year was no exception. I saw a great mass of eggs, as vivid as those before you now, borne aloft unto the heavens. Making dreams manifest has never failed to lend wonder to Hatching Tide before, so, needless to say, I intend to bring my latest vision to life. Speaking of which, the eggs I commissioned ought to arrive any moment now. Oh, Chili, it's a disaster! The cart toppled over en route. Thankfully, the driver was unscathed, but I can't say the same for the eggs. Good heavens! I'm glad to hear the poor driver was unharmed, but without the eggs, how are we to breathe life into my dream? Don't worry, I'll simply fashion some more eggs myself. Though, to create the quantity required will take time, and we're already facing at least a minor delay at this point. If only I could assign someone to help you. Alas, the other dreamers are busy enough as it is, and I must see to the schedule alterations myself. But wait, Momo, perhaps you'd be willing to lend a hand? It's a pleasure to meet you, adventurer. I do hope you'll consider helping us to get Hatching Tide back on track. Thank you. The first order of business will be procuring more of the necessary egg supplies from the merchant. Our supplier should be in the market. He's a burly fellow, so he won't be difficult to spot. We can only hope he has enough stock. So, fun fact, there are some in-game weddings you can have between two players, and there's a ceremony and there's music, and you can choose what song you want playing. And that song, which is called like Papaya or Papaya, is one of the songs you can choose to have playing at your character's wedding. I've seen people do that before. Aw, I love how the decorations are all over the town in subtle ways. Oh, there he be. Ah, you're that dreamer who was here before, ain't ya? A right old mess to be sure. Afraid I'm all out of the supplies you need, though. Oh, is there really nothing you can do for us? Well, I do have some tatty old odds and ends, or surplus wares, that might be of use. If you want them, they're all yours. You know, you can make a lot of really gorgeous dyes for eggs out of everyday stuff. Bits like onion skins are an excellent yellow. Might not be exactly what you needed, but I'm sure you can cobble something together with these. The storage fees were eaten into me I'd rather see them put to good use. When I ordered the initial batch of supplies, I remember thinking what a kind fellow he was. He's certainly proved me right. Any road, we'd better take stock of what he's given us. Let's see. This leather looks durable. We have some metal springs and rings that could do for a mechanism of some sort, and these lengths of timber could be cut down to a more portable size. I think these herbs and resins are used to concoct water-repelling alchemical solutions. Never tried it myself, but there's a first time for everything. Besides that, there are plenty of bits and bobs. You should have no trouble when it comes to decoration. Unfortunately, we won't be able to recreate the eggs Jilly saw in her dream with these. We could make something far easier to get off the ground, though. Parasols. The trick will be making them look eggy enough. Any rounded object looks like an egg from far enough away. It's science. The shell makes the egg, as they say. Do they say that? Any road, we should paint them. We should paint them. You're right. With some festival patterns on the outer canopy and a convincingly eggy structure, these parasols might just make for a worthy replacement. Parasols are a sight more fiddly than your standard egg, though. With just the two of us, production will take far too long. So, we'll need to enlist further help, just as I did with you. Fortunately, the guild's artisans should be less likely to balk at a request for parasol parts than a rush order for myriad eggs, particularly if we supply the materials. Let us first pay a visit to the leatherworker's canopy. I'm sure they'll be able to transform our leather into something fit for a canopy. So, like I've said in previous episodes, you always get something from these holiday events. This is actually faster. In this year, it looks like it's an umbrella. Umbrellas, or parasols, are pure... Ooh, that's a cute top. Sorry, give me a sec. Examine. Try on. Oh, that is so cute. I'm pretty sure... Now, what is this? Neon Street Blouson. I'm pretty sure that is from some of the stuff in the newest expansion, Dawn Trail. It is very modern. Very modern looking. Oh yeah, what I was trying to say is parasols are purely ornamental. There's also wings your characters can get that are also ornamental. We might see players around with some periodically. Fairy wings, angel wings, devil wings, that sort of thing. I don't think I've spoken to folks in the guild. As the 12's wood changes, so too must we change. To evolve and grow is the nature of life. We endure the calamity by not fearing the forest, but by following its example and adapting to survive. Please be informed that Atelier Fen Yi is not accepting orders for bristletail boots at present. The hunting of bristletail marmots has been prohibited due to incessant poaching. As a result, we have been forced to cease production until further notice. That's part of why the Leather Guild is here, because there's so many animals to get, but with the whole theme of this city of Gridania being living in harmony, they don't, get more animals than they need. It is seldom acknowledged, but leatherworkers shoulder a heavy responsibility. Our raw materials come at the price of an animal's life, after all. Some of our crafters even give up the trade, unable to bear the guilt. Of course, rather more of our crafters give up the trade because they were unable to bear our master's scorn. I love Jiva. She is so sassy and so not high maintenance. Rather the opposite. She's very exacting in her expectations and her level of quality, when you have her as a guild master. You must be the adventurer assistant Nanota spoke of. She was just informing me of your plight. Many of our apprentices are looking forward to the Hatchingtide celebrations. You shall have the guild's aid, although I'm afraid we lack some of the resources needed to work your leather into parasol canopies. The material is water resistant to a degree, but nevertheless porous. Untreated, it will degrade over time and begin to rot, but our stock of coating is perilously low at the moment. If it's a water repellent you're after, say no more. We just so happen to have the necessary ingredients, so I can see to its preparation. In the meantime, would you take this timber over to the Carpenters Guild and request that they craft the parasol frame? We can meet up by the Black Rabbit Trader Stall and on. I'm gonna have to, well, maybe after I get my feet off the ground, or my boots. What is that phrase? Shoes off the ground, boots off the ground? Either way, I will have to do some of the crafting stuff once I get my ducks in a row a little bit more with Momo, because I love the crafting quests. They're honestly delightful. Let's see, the Carpenters Guild we cannot directly teleport to. So it's gonna be the Aetheryte. And Beaten, of course, is a goofball. Who's very good with kids. Why do you stand there like a frightened school child? If you need something, speak. Various lengths of timber ready to be sawn and lathed into parasol parts. And you would have us undertake this task with how little time left until hatching tide? Very well. The younglings in the acorn orchard await the festivities. For their sake, no effort will be spared in the parasol's preparations. We shall commence work right away. Let your associates know that the Carpenters Guild has the matter in hand. It actually kind of makes sense that we're here, because Mycenta is the person that you can buy, the Black Arbit traders, you can buy stuff from them. You can buy hats. Hey Matt, thank you for popping in. I'm delighted to play a part in recognizing their hatching tide for the ages. Leave the alchemical solution and the finer details to me. I'll soon have everything sourced. I trust everything went well at the Carpenters Guild. I've just placed an order for the alchemical solution and a few other things besides. The next step will be to piece all the parts together into a prototype parasol. I'll bring the prototype over to Jilly once I've finished, so you can go ahead and wait with her. Yeah, hello Matt, I hope you're having a good night. Dealing with a sink that's slightly busted in the kitchen? Oh no, I hope it's something you can fix. Welcome back, Momo. You'll be pleased to hear that I've adjusted the schedule to accommodate our little mishap, and all is set to proceed. How fare the eggs? Non-existent, ma'am. Substituting parasols for eggs? What a wonderful idea! I can hardly wait to see what Nanota cooks up for the prototype, though wait we must. And this one is exceeding you know what? Exceeding expectations? Come on, that's a missed opportunity. You could have put exceeding expectations. Julie Aliapo is patiently awaiting to see the parasol prototype. Nanota will surely be along any moment now. It's fine, we're gonna make a maintenance call tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good idea. Goodness knows I don't know how to clean a sink. Well, no, I didn't say. I know how to clean a sink. I know how to unplug a sink if it's just like regular stuff. But actual breakage, not my department. Sorry to keep you both waiting. Allow me to present you with the very first Archon Egg Parasol. I would hope we all know how to clean a sink. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Oh, that's precious. What a fine example of ingenuity. It's magnificent. I'm so glad you approve. With your blessing, I'll begin producing more to distribute. Oh, I absolutely recommend it. This is so precious. In the meantime, we find ourselves at a loose end. Okay, I'm a little irritated because, there must be something wrong with the ad system. Because I ran an ad just before my stream, just before I switched over to the game in my stream. And yet, it's telling me I have an incoming ad break. It's only been a half hour. That... No. Does it not count the ad I ran earlier as... counting? Yeah, no, I will manually run them, but yeah. I'm not sorry for that peek behind the curtain there. Speedrunning MSQ, that sounds like fun. In the meantime, we find ourselves at a loose end. But we cannot let Nanota outstrip us in Hatching Tide spirit. There must be more we can do. Let's show off your parasol to the townsfolk. Perhaps we can drum up a crowd with the promise of gifts. Show off the parasol. But of course! We ought to promote our newest addition to the festivities. If we tell even a few Bordanians that these gorgeous accoutrements will be available to those who celebrate with us, word will spread of its own accord. With that in mind, I shall keep mine unfurled and on display. You use your adventurer's instincts to identify those most in need of egg-themed accessories. By the way, Matt, I'll get out of the way, but did I show you, so in addition to having, you know, the top, I dyed the bottoms for this, so it looks like shorts, and this is, I believe, the maid, yes, the housemaid's bloomers. And these are the houseblades thingamajigs, but I made them red to match this. And these are just the Lolafellan shoes. And I'm not doing anything up top for now just yet. But I'm proud of it. I think this we may have already found Momo's canon outfit. The market is always busy. Let us look for potential celebrants there. Oh yeah, Jilly, okay. So... this is a relatively new concept, but oh my goodness, this person has the Yuna outfit. So this is the Yuna gear. You could, I believe, only get it for a limited time. You might be able to buy it for real money now. You had to pay real money to begin with anyway. I believe it was related to a live stream back a couple years ago. Oh, but this person following you thing is something that I believe began in a little before Endwalker, maybe. You bring characters to various places and talk to them, and they give you dialogue. This person has been doing a lot of standing around, Dirty Olive. Oh well. I can't really recognize them because their name is a little silly. Come here. Okay, so once they're in this glowing area, we talk to them and they give us dialogue. Speak with Jilly. When I think back to the very first Hatching Tide, it's a marvel just how popular the occasion has become. I have so many people to thank for their efforts, yourself included. Discuss the decorative basket, which is here. We dreamers are responsible for all the decorations you see throughout the city. Take that basket over there, for instance. I came up with the idea, and Nanota worked her magic to help create the final piece. The final product, rather. Egg Appreciator. I say, madam, you must tell me where I might acquire a resplendent parasol like unto your own. At our Hatching Tide event, of course. How about it? Will you join us at the amphitheater? I will be delighted. As a true connoisseur of eggs, both decorative and edible, I attend annually in the hopes of glimpsing ovoid perfection, and this parasol surpasses even my every imagining. Such elegance, such egginess. Such egginess indeed. absolute delight. It's not too often you see that level of craftsmanship paired with such decorative flair. This might be the finest egg-inspired apparel I've ever seen. Might I ask who is responsible for this masterpiece? The Leatherworkers Guild, the Carpenters Guild, Black Rabbit Traders, and our Dreamers all had their parts to play. And if you join us in celebrating Hatching Tide, you can receive one just like it. I should have known that the Guild's artisans were involved. If it means getting my hands on a parasol, I'd be more than happy to take part in the festivities. Another egg enthusiast. Heavens above! Is that adorable parasol fashioned after an Archon egg? Exquisite, isn't it? If you join us at the amphitheater, you'll receive one just like it. For years I have searched for a parasol as darling as an egg, getting sunburned and soaked by turns, and you offer me one free of charge. 'Tis a Hatching Tide miracle. I expect those three will tell all and sundry about our parasols. Our work here is done. Something more for my gal to say. Oh, I love these. I think these were from a previous event, maybe. Yosh. Well, that went rather swimmingly. You clearly have an eye for egg connoisseurs. I shall go and see how many attendees are gathered at the amphitheater. Feel free to join us when you have a moment. I love these. I'm rather fond of the fact that, quite literally, Jilly, literally had a dream and then can I offer you an egg in these trying times, back when the calamity started. She's a very pure character. I can't help but grin every time I come into this area and the music starts. Like, I don't know. There's something about this one specifically that just tickles my fancy. This parasol is truly the peak of ovoid aesthetics. Timing my visit to coincide with Hatching Tide was a fine idea indeed. Well, who else has eggy celebrations? When I laid eyes upon this parasol, its quality spoke loud and clear. A triumph of design, both practical and decorative. It's not often I find an article so worthy of my discernment. Oh, it's gonna look real cute for a Lalafell. To think I'd end up with one of these delightful parasols all for myself. You and your assistants are so generous. Look, Momo, isn't the sight of those parasols simply marvelous? Eggs held aloft, just as in my dream. Hooray! We did it, Jilly! We certainly did. Shall we officially declare this Hatching Tide a success? Hold that thought. You've yet to see the half of it. Mysenta, I'm not quite sure I follow. Quite a few of my customers asked after your parasols. More than can comfortably gather here, in fact. Nevertheless, I took the liberty of handing out stock to those who came inquiring. How many left my stall with a smile on their face and a parasol in hand? The whole city is awash in floating eggs. That's incredible! To think the parasols are bringing joy even beyond our celebration. Wait, Jilly, they're one and the same, aren't they? The celebration is spread across the city, borne by a great mass of floating eggs. You're right! I was intent on gathering people here, but the eggs of my dream were far too numerous to contain in one place. They were always meant to be seen far and wide. That our original plans were met with misfortune was a blessing in disguise, for we've touched the hearts of many more people than I dared to imagine. There's no doubt in my mind. This will go down as a hatching tide to remember. Black Rabbit traders shall continue distributing parasols to those who ask. They may be free of charge, but they're drawing business in spades. Nanota told me how to assemble them, so I can prepare as many as necessary. Truly, where would we be without your ingenuity, Nanota? I couldn't have done it without our able adventurer. Ah, that reminds me. I have something for you, Momo. That's the very second parasol I ever made. After Jilly's, of course. I thought it fitting that you receive it. Keep one for yourself, Nanota. With eggs aloft across the city, that's all that's left is to enjoy the festivities. Your work may have finished, Momo, but Hatching Tide most certainly hasn't. Fashion accessories. So yes, there's a few different sorts. Finished in a striking yellow and golden trim, this accessory provides excellent protection against all but the worst of downpours. I thought it was going to go on to the more sentence, that's why I said that weird. Used to unlock an Archon Egg Parasol. And fashion accessories. Rain check and umbrella dance. Oh my goodness. Rain check. Oh my goodness! This is so precious! Oh my god, is that the fucking singing in the rain dance or something similar? I'm in love at worth it. Absolutely fucking worth it. I am so tickled pink. Okay, I am gonna unequip that for now. Oh, there's different poses! Oh my goodness. So, okay, so... Okay, that's so freaking cute, though. I'm not gonna use that pose. I think I'll use this one instead, but... Oh my goodness. Delightful. Okay. Now that we're 40 minutes in, let's start in the main story quest, shall we? I know I can do all of this stuff a lot faster than I have been, but that's not really the point. Alright, Woods will be done. The personnel officer stands ready to complete your introduction into the ranks. That's right, I've forgotten. This was me joining the adders. Protocol requires that I appraise you of who we are and what we do, after which I will invite you to swear an oath of your own free will. The Order of the Twin Adder is the Grand Company of Gridania. brings together the martial, economic, and technological resources of our nation, though that we might stand strong in times of direst adversity, when our very survival hangs in the balance. Goodness, I cannot speak. Our order was formed in the days before the calamity, in readiness to fight the Garlean Empire, and to combat the beast tribes in their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. Elder Seedseer Kane Sana is the supreme commander of our forces. Under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Gridania and the sanctity of the Twelveswood. As the entwined serpents that grace our standard, let Forestborn strive as one with friends from afar to ensure that peace shall ever reign in Gridania. In doing so, we honor the will of the elementals, and theirs is the will of the wood. Now then, Momo Jagaimo, I ask that you give unto us your oath of allegiance, in whatever fashion you see fit. Woods will be done. I shall strike down our enemies and drink of their blood. My life for the Seedseer. Woods will be done. It's the least cringe. So you know the words of our grand company. That is well. Bound by this common belief, let us strive to preserve all that is good in this great nation. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Sergeant Private 3rd Class. You are now a woman of the Order of the Twin Adder. Go forth, Private Jagaimo, and do that which brings peace to the Twelveswood and honor to our name. So this is my link pearl. It's basically, it's kind of like a very limited cell phone. Can you hear me, Momo? This is Manphilia. An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Jagaimo. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though you are now a serpent of Gridania, you are no less a scion. Pray return to the waking sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I would very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. The distant call of a friend in need, perhaps. As you are needed elsewhere, I shall not keep you any longer. I would, however, suggest speaking with High Serpent Commander Vorsail Hulois before you depart. He may provide you with assistance on the journey ahead. Ah, so that's a mandatory mission I have to complete at some point. Got it. So yeah, you can deliver, so any items we have that are pink or above, or like green or whatnot, you can turn them into this character here in order to earn, which actually I think I'm going to do, because we don't need any of these. Well, no, that's for a spell user, and I don't currently intend to I want to keep that for glam. I'm gonna put you over here. The whole Foe Strikers set. Sorry to do inventory management on stream. That is something I had intended to do ahead of time. Keep that because it's halfway decent. Okay, so let's turn these in. So you can, if you have got crafting or gathering classes, you can make stuff to deliver it here. Provisioning, you can, so supply was like items. provisioning with stuff you make, and then expert delivery is... Oh, never mind. It's not letting me turn in anything yet. I think I have to do this mission first. The Chocobo quest! My little Chocobo, Twin Adder. Vorsay believes it past time you were issued a personal Chocobo. Ah, Private Jigaimo. I understand you've been working tirelessly in Gridania's name. You are truly an example to your fellow serpents. But tell me, have you ever felt as though you couldn't get to your destination quickly enough? That perhaps you could do with a swifter pair of legs? If so, you might consider getting a personal Chocobo. You have yet to be issued your own bird, am I correct? Given your considerable talents, you should be able to obtain one in no time at all. Let me tell you how to go about it. First, you must obtain a serpent Chocobo issuance by exchanging company seals with the quartermaster. Once you have this deed, present it to our man Singer, and he will furnish you with a suitable bird. A pup no longer. Vorsay Hulua will have you begin your training in earnest. Listen well, Private Jigaimo. The Order of the Twin Adder does not welcome glory seekers willy-nilly into our ranks. You stand here today because we believe in your potential. We believe that you will go forth as a serpent and help restore order in a world gone mad. And yet, potential alone will not carry you far. Indeed, the road to glory is littered with the bodies of would-be heroines who lack the determination and diligence to hone their innate talents. But you will not suffer the same fate. I am certain of it. It is with such high hopes for your future that I would send you to begin the next phase of your training. The venue shall be the Wolf's Den, a proving ground established in the Eorzean Alliance to prepare Grand Company recruits for the battles that lie ahead. The Wolf's Den is to be found just off the shore of Lenosha. The ferry at the Morabi dry docks and lower in Lenosha will grant you passage there. Upon your arrival, seek out Storm Captain Berkoya Loidaswin. I have already taken the liberty of submitting a letter of recommendation on your behalf. So that unlocks PvP. And we can't get the other mission from him until we do this other one, I think. Okay, so unfortunately, I have no thingamajiggies just yet, and therefore cannot get my Chocobo until I do. Let me just check to see how expensive it is. Oh, it's only 200. Let me go do the Wolf's Den thing, because I think does that earn me some? Yes, it does. It earns me enough to get the Chocobo thing. Got it. Okay. So this goes where? The dry docks. They just said that. Okay, and then there's a ferry over here to get. I am more than happy to finally get my Chocobo. Although she won't be quite the color I would like her to be, because making Chocobos a different color requires pretty dang expensive materials, as well as a place to put them. Ciao to the Wolves Den! So yes, PvP is a whole thing. I don't do it myself, but it's like capture the flag. Sorry. So a lot of the outfits you can get here are really beautiful. Unfortunately, that ain't for me. I don't recall seeing your ugly mug around here before. You say Hulwa sent you? He told me he was sending a new wolf to the den. Bah, more like the runt of the litter, if you ask me. Okay, listen, that's racist. Just because you're a Rogadin. You barely have fangs for the Honin, but I guess I'm feeling goddamn generous, so I'll throw you a bone. Start yourself off with a crystalline conflict. Them training bouts are made special for feckless adventuring types who can't tell sound strategy from horses arse. I still reckon it won't be dawn before you run home with your tail between your legs, crying for your mum, but you can have a word with Lieutenant Gungi Zulungi if you insist on giving it a go. You'll find him outside, assuming you can work up the nerve. And stand up straight, maggot. This ain't no place for the weak of spine. Dismissed. Oh, of course, I should have remembered. He's a military dude. That's why he's a prick. PvP unlocked. I think there's other things beyond crystalline conflict, because it's like sort of the first thing. That's but no thanks. You look to be spoiling for a fight, newcomer. Not that I blame you. Most everyone the captain sends my way is. You do well to vent some of that pent-up rage in match or 3 of crystalline conflict. It's the latest, greatest, and most exciting tactical training you'll find this side of the front lines. You might think me biased, given that I'm the one who came up with the rules, but nothing could be further from the truth. We receive countless calls to add more strategic elements to our training skirmishes, you see, and I simply put the entirety of my considerable skill towards answering them. Crystalline conflicts matches challenge you to maintain control over an all-important freight, which you must transport safely to a designated location amid the heat of battle. It is similar to, well, a lot of these kind of, like, what's the name of the game? The Blizzard game? That people are creepy over Diva because she's underage. Oh, I don't remember. I've even designed special arenas replete with magic mechanisms to keep you on your feet. Keep you on your toes, rather. If that piques your interest, my first recommendation is that you learn the rules in their entirety, lest you be pulverized the moment you step foot onto the field. But fear not, I am more than happy to discuss them at any time. I haven't done this one before. Yeah, it's an escort team shooter. There you go, I just had to talk to them to unlock the option. And now... Wait, did I get my company seals? Yes, I did. Alright, let's go back to Gridania. And get our ding-dang chocobo. Oh no. I didn't put enough thought into what I was going to call this chocobo. Dang nabbit. Why didn't I think about this sooner? I could call her Tater Tot. No, it needs to be something potato adjacent. Oh hey. Like civilized men and women, Twin Adder, Lieutenant Scarlet is looking for a few good soldiers. Come closer, Private Chigaimo. I prefer that this tale be heard by you and you alone. It concerns a sensitive matter with which you are doubtless well acquainted, the Battle of Cartano. I speak of that bloodbath which marked the end of the Sixth Estral Era. when both the 7th Legion and the Allied forces were slaughtered by that winged abomination, which did its utmost to destroy all we know and love. No part of Eorzea was untouched by the Elder Primal's rage, least of all the Cartano Flats, which were ravaged, nay, remade, in the fires of the destruction. The flats were rendered an accursed wasteland, and all decent small folk know to keep a wide berth. Consequently, many question why the Eorzean Alliance continues to maintain a military presence in the region, despite the personnel and material required to do so. Allagan ruins, that's why. Allied scholars have been studying them since their discovery following the battle, during which time the Cartano Flats have been jointly administered by the 3 member nations of the Eorzean Alliance. This was an acceptable state of matters for a long time, but no longer. State of affairs, rather. Ul'dah, Limsa, and Gridania have all formally asserted a claim to the territory. A diplomatic solution is no longer possible. The matter is to be decided on the fields of battle. Lest you fear that this marks the advent of total war, worry not. We are allies as ever and shall conduct ourselves accordingly. All hostilities will be confined to the disputed territories, and the engagement shall be fought to submission, not death. So you see, you needn't hesitate to join the fray. Should you have the misfortune of facing a friend in battle, you will only be expected to subdue him, not kill him. Aye, that's right. I tell you all this because we need men and women of your caliber on the front line. These ruins are of vital importance to our nation's security, and we cannot cannot surrender them to a foreign power. You need not make a decision now. All I ask is that when you speak with our man at the airship landing and listen to what he has to say. Oh, so this is the one I've played before. Can I turn in shit? Nope, not yet. I need the chocobo. Present this deed to the Order of the Twin Adder Company stables to receive your own chocobo. Yeah! Alright, Singer is... Oh! Oh, it's just over here. I thought it was in Bent Branch Meadows. But no, I guess it makes sense. Those are chocobos maybe for general use? Oh no, those are like where the chocobos are hatched and trained. Versus these chocobos are like both already grown and trained. Want a bird issued, you say? Then I'll need to see your serpent chocobo issuance. Yes, everything appears to be in order. A moment, please. I'll be right back with your chocobo. And here he is. The fellow has been in high spirits the past few bells. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you'll want to give your noble steed a name. What do I want to name my little guy? Also, it's deeply funny to me. Look at this size difference. This is not the chocobo they're going to give me, you understand. Let me take a screenshot of this because this is so stupid. There are chocobo size, or there are Lullafell size chocobos. I will not be given this one. The fact that they didn't fix this in like the game to account for this earlier before this point, the game has been out for many years now. Where? Could call him Starch. Give me a sec. I'm gonna look up some food that is made. Give Give me just a sec. Okay, so that's one idea. Sorry, I'm just double checking the spelling. Okay. Nikaragashi. It is a beef and potato stew. Where? I have a baby. Heh, I dare say he likes his name. Here is your very own chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it, and your feathered friend will come bounding to your side. But do forgive him if he doesn't respond when summoned in crowded city areas or monster-infested lairs. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with your Chocobo Rider's License, as is required by law. And that concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. A small hand-carved whistle that emits a unique high-pitched tone discernible only by the Chocobo trained from birth to recognize and respond to the sound. Use to summon your personal Chocobo. And then I wonder... I think, because one of the nice things about Chocobos is, you not only have the option to ride them when you're outside the cities, you can also have them fight with you in those areas. They're like a battle companion. And they, get experience points just the same way players do. And you can periodically reset, and they have skills you can choose for them and all of that sort of thing. But that is a separate quest line that I think might be later. Private Jigaimo, come to join the fight, have we? Very good indeed. Now, before we proceed, I must warn you, this isn't going to be like in some jaunt to the Wolves' Den. You'll be pitted against wave after wave of fellow Alliance members in battle, and they won't care one whit that you're a warrior of light. This campaign will be long and brutal, and victories won today may be undone tomorrow. Consider the borderland ruins. We need only seize control of each ruin in the region, right? Wrong. Defense is paramount as well, for our rivals will muster forces to challenge our claims. It is for that reason we have established an airship route directly to the front line. Those who are ready and willing to fight will never want for transportation. But that look on your face bespeaks confusion. Are we at war or not? What is this bollocks about no killing? What in the seventh hells is going on? That's what you're thinking, yes? It's less war and more organized violence to resolve a territorial dispute. And yes, it is to be civilized violence. Killing Alliance members is strictly prohibited, although accidents have been known to happen, mind you. But you of all people have nothing to fear. You've escaped certain death many more times than I can count. What are the odds you'll fail to do so this time, huh? So yeah, you can get to that here or through the duty finder now. Let's see, that is... the house that Death built. That is a new dungeon. If I remember correctly. Nojiro Marujiro has a glut of gossip he has been dying to share with someone. If you're poking around looking for work, you must be an adventurer too, am I right? You won't find much here, I'm afraid. Seems like the only thing people talk about these days is the nasty bit of business down near Isam-har. Surely you've heard the stories of a strange portal suddenly appearing in the ruins down there? Hey, don't give me that look. I'm only telling you some of what I overheard from the whalers. They say on the other end of it is some sort of labyrinth. The thing is, every time they go down there to map the place out, nothing is the same. A mystery if I've ever heard one. Frankly, I'm more than happy to let it stay a mystery. Strange apparitions, booby-trapped corridors. Going down there is nothing but short of suicide. Still, the prospect of a treasure is awfully tempting. Don't take my word for it, though. Head down to Isam-har, and you can hear it straight from the chocobo's mouth. So yeah, actually, I was wrong. Oh yeah, I'll show off all of these guys once we're outside the city. Boop. Yeah. Oh, wait. There we go. So now I can summon a mount using this option. But there's some mounts I really don't like the look of, so yeah. Yeah, closest is Quarry Mill. So I wanted to show you what mounts I currently have. Not the minions. So you've got your regular chocobo. Summon your Grand Company issue chocobo. Born and bred in the city-state of Ishgard, the majority of company chocobos are geldings of the Roundsea variety. However, massive destriers and miniature Beladian Jeannettes are also raised to accommodate the builds of Roganins and Lalafellan riders, respectively. Yeah! Fat chocobo. Summon forth your fat chocobo mount. Take care that there is sufficient room for his ample girth. Playfully described by some as large and in charge, in truth, when summoned, this gluttonous gourmand will nary flap a feather unless a garland of gizzlegreens is dangled before him, in which case not even the laws of nature can slow the fat chocobo down. I love him. I love him so much. Look at him, little head. Look at him, little feather. Look at him, itty bitty little wings. Look at him, feets. Look at how dumb he looks. Look at the fact that I'm holding a friggin'. It's, you know, the donkey and the carrot, but with a gizzlegreen. Then there's this variety, which is called the original fat chocobo. Summon forth the original fat chocobo. Of course, being the original, it can eat much more than its peers. Maybe not larger, but definitely more in charge. This most gluttonous of gluttons inspired the others to great weights. Although most modern chocobos have white or yellow plumage, historical tomes portray birds covered in feathers whiter than the whitest snowfall, all bear to see the stains of its many meals. So it's basically the same, except he's got a little crown. And I called on Kel, my other player character. I call her version of this guy Princess. It's just the same, just different color. Jake bought this one for me. Summon forth your Spriggan Stone Carrier. Lives to carry ore, eggs, and you. Grown to a prodigious size by virtue of its appetite, this Spriggan was choking on a chunk of ore when it was found and saved by a band of miners. Seeking to repay the kindness of men it took to carrying their burdens, which apparently includes the men themselves. So yes, look, he's just carrying me in a little basket, but he's also got him little gems in the back. Oh yeah, and then like the flower. I don't know if y'all can hear his little feet, but they are one of my favorite parts about this mount. Look at my kid. Look at Momo just lean forward on her basket. Okay. This is related to Shadowbringers and Walker stuff. Grani, possessed of a strength both of mind and body that is unmatched in the first, as a mount, Grani has no peer on land nor in the heavens. It is said, however, that the noble creature will only accept a rider who has pledged to restore shadow to the land bereft of light. Yep, that's his Shadowbringer thingamajig. Summon Grani, his heroic steed from a realm not your own. It's basically kind of similar to Sleipnir in some respects. We've got Arion. Summon forth Arion, the heavenly steed of unmatched swiftness. Legends speak of a majestic and unwaveringly loyal horse who would never fail to deliver its master from peril. Such myths were founded in fact, as the divine steed has descended from the heavens to seek one possessed of a true and virtuous heart, with whom it may right the wrongs of the world. Alright, but looks like yes. Actually, this one might be specifically Sleipnir. It's got 3 sets of legs. And wings and a lizard tail. We've got the Coral. Summon forth your fleet-footed battle Coral, trained from a pup to recognize you as a friend, not food. Native to the jungles of the Near East, Corals were only recently introduced to Eorzea, brought over from faraway lands such as Thavnair by Uldan nobles who thought to breed them as pets. Now but a handful of skilled tamers live in Recluse on the Pearl, are said to be able to train them. It's a pretty kitty. A tiny kitty, though, in comparison to a regular Coral. Let's see, we've got summon forth your mighty behemoth, trained from birth to carry you, not trample you underfoot like an ant. Immediately following the calamity, an adventurer returning to Gridania from Falcon's Nest in Coerthas claimed to have happened upon a den of baby behemoths who had lost their mother. Despite objections from friends and family alike, she kept the beasts, eventually training them to serve as mounts. Now, notice, this is, well, there are several mounts we have that are the same size regardless of how big your character is. And, the behemoth is one of them. Look at, wait, I gotta zoom out a little bit. Okay. Look at Momo, like, perched on this thing like a boss. Like, just completely unbothered. Summon forth your griffin. Half eagle, half lion, all business. Fantastical winged beasts native to the unscalable peaks of Abalathia's spire, griffins actually have a long history of serving as mounts. Indeed, before the city-state's fall, the Alamegan army maintained a regiment of griffin-backed soldiers who would harry opposing forces. This one does scale to me, because look at how bitty the little griffin. got summon your fatter cat. Fatter than a fat cat, obviously. Seeing as how this Percy pussy can defy the very laws of physics by propelling itself high into the firmament, it is very likely that the creature is either a void scent, using a bloated cat's corpse as its corporeal vessel, or a deceased pet reanimated by one well versed in the necromantic arts. No, it's just a special cat. Thanks for putting up with the breaks, the ad, my dears. But look at this, look! It's got a little plaid top, and it does have feet, but they're hard to see because whenever you stop moving, it just squishes it to the ground. It's called a fatter cat because there is a fat cat that is a minion. But goodness, this is the cutest shit. This is the opposite. Summon forth a riding Arium, bound to this realm with powerful magics guaranteed to never fade. Though little is known of the void and the creatures which call the extra-dimensional realm home, scholars have since discovered that there is a strict hierarchy among the void sent, consisting of 12 distinct tiers. Ariums are believed to fall into the 5th, making them formidable foes, when not enthralled by curses. So yeah, I never used this thing because not only is it ugly as sin, I mean it's badass, but it's also ugly, but it also, like, feels weird to drive, so to speak. Then we've got summon forth Sildra. Even in death, she would want to help. Legends say there once lived a kindly sea dragon who befriended a pirate, and that their friendship knew no bounds. This is not that sea dragon, however. However, with a little time and caring, who is to say that a similar relationship cannot be forged? Sea dragons have no relation to actual dragons. But look how pretty! It's just a, what is the It's just a naked Lapras. Got the Falcon. Call into battle the Falcon. Unofficially, the fastest single-rider airship ever built in Eorzea. An independent project of Garlemald Ironworks engineer Wedge, this single-rider airship allegedly recorded some of the fastest flight speeds ever, until a tragic accident following an attempt to see how high the ship could soar convinced its creator that perhaps a modicum of restraint was necessary. But it looks silly on the ground, but it can also fly. Not right now because I haven't unlocked flying, but it's wicked cute. And lastly, we've got the Flying Cumulus. Summon forth the Flying Cumulus. It is unclear whether its previous owner was a boy with a tail or simply a monkey. So this was in reference to the Journey to the East mythology, specifically with Son Goku. There is but one man in all of Hydaelyn who can create such a mystical masterpiece, and it is said he resides upon Mystique Peak, hidden within the mountain ranges of Doma. Crafted by stitching together dozens of smaller clouds, the Cumulus allows a single rider to explore the skies, but only if she has an inherent affinity for magics. So yeah, this was a limited time item. It came with the Journey to the West clothes, which I'm pretty sure I put in a thingamajig, didn't I? Yes! This was the outfit. The Journey to the West outfit. Okay. That's enough procrastinating, so let's just... I got the fat cat! When you put certain mounts in favorites, it summons one of them when you hit the button. I'm sorry, but I must insist that you... Oh, an adventurer, and a rather seasoned-looking one besides. On the off chance that you're not simply here to gawp, perhaps you could lend us a hand? You see, despite the fervent protestations of those dustbites over there, we cannot permit civilians within the ruins at this time. Capable men and women like you, on the other hand, are more than welcome. That is, if you've got the stones for it. Pray seek out the others stationed at Quarrymill. They can apprise you of the details. So this is something I had mentioned previously. It's a procedurally randomized... it's randomized levels. You go through them either by yourself, with strangers, or with friends, and there's like 100 some odd levels. I think every time you have a chance of winning things in those that you can turn in for some pretty impressive prizes once you're out. The problem is that your odds are so awful. Like, you can get one of the things that I used earlier at the Egg Festival, like something that you just use it and it does like a light effect around your character. You get everything from that to like powerful weapons, housing items, clothing. It's utterly random. Well, mid-adventurer, I take it you have come to learn more of the recent happenings at Isamhar. The situation is of interest owing to the Gelmoran ruins. Gelmora being an underground city which predates Gridania, in case you were unaware. Any road, a few days past, we received reports from several anthropogeographers that a magical gateway of some kind had appeared in the ruins, and that all manners of creatures were coming and going through it. My men and women were among the first to examine it, and, well, it's hard to explain. We crossed the threshold into a series of corridors we'd never seen before, and then suddenly each and every one of us was filled with an inexplicable sense of dread. It was all I could do to take even a single step. According to Auna Kotor, who accompanied us, the ruins are warded with powerful magics that sap the spirits and ether of all those who enter, rendering them easy prey for the creatures within. Thankfully, he managed to devise a solution: ether pool arms and armor, which safeguard and channel the Weather's energy so that they might understand the ruins' magics. Unfortunately, it does little to prevent us from losing our way, though it beggars belief every time we have dared to venture into the ruins, we have found the path to be changed. We suspect this too may be the work of an unfathomably powerful mage. Needless to say, something strange is afoot, and traditional tactics are not like to succeed. Even experienced adventurers will need to proceed with caution. In any event, if you believe that you have what it takes to brave the ruins and discover what secrets lie in the deepest depths, you need but say the word. And now we have access to Palace of the Dead. Yeah, you always start at level 1, and you earn a little bit of actual experience points, but not a ton. It's more a good way of, like, learning a class, and the more, the weapons you have in there are, like, made of light. And once you get to a certain level, you can actually turn those weapons into glamours. Oh, I didn't see this. Is this back in Gridania? Wait, what? No, it's at Cape Tranquil. Okay, well, let me first accept... Well, I have a chocobo now. Oh wait, I haven't even shown y'all my actual chocobo. Have I? So yeah, this is my little bean. It's itty bitty size and extra cute. Oh, that's right. I also have, so this is the default one. This is the twin adder outfit that your chocobo begins with. I have, if I go to companion, I have decorative stuff. Not much, but a little bit. I'll put on the white mage, the black mage stuff so you see what I mean. So yeah, black mage, outfit from a little guy. Oh, no, companion. There's the Barding of Light. And then we've got the behemoth stuff, which if I remember is extremely goofy. I was right. Look at how silly this looks. Look at the fact that his wings are back here. Look at these little fake arms. And the face. It is so silly. Oop, not you. Sorry. I am just gonna go back to the Gridania stuff. Technically, actually, can I have a naked chocobo? I can. It feels a little wrong, but I can. But look at the little face. She's a little guy. And oh, I'm sorry. We should go. I turned my other character, Caldred. So, you can put one of these little guys in a stable. Stables are only available at housing spaces. So, like, people or free companies that own houses in this game. You can borrow the stable and put your chocobo there, and then you have to feed them. So there's items that you can feed your chocobo that change their color. But the only way to get those seeds is, I believe, through hunts, which are something we haven't encountered yet. And then you have to plant them, water them, and grow them for them to create those items. So as a result, they're only accessible if you create them yourself by growing them in garden plots in housing, or if you buy them off the market board, they have to be put up for sale by other players. As a result, they're often extremely expensive. Nedrick has a tantalizing bit of information to share with an adventurer. Braving new depths. Hail, adventurer! You are wearing the expression of one who seeks new battlegrounds to hone your burgeoning skills. Do not ask how Nedrick knows, he simply knows. Now, tell me, are you perchance familiar with the sunken Temple of Born? I will not hold it against you if you are not. The ruins only surfaced when the calamity split the ground asunder, after all. Any road, it's a popular destination these days for adventurers looking for new frontiers to explore. If you're keen to join them, why not make the journey to southern Thanalan and visit the temple for yourself? Well, with the many dangers that lurk within, the immortal flames are keeping close watch over the place, but a little fellow by the name of Bibimu should be able to offer you passage. So this is an optional dungeon, which we shall do because I actually do enjoy Corn. I think it's an interesting dungeon. Hi Tataru, bye Tataru. Hi folks. Any of y'all have any what would you say? We work in shifts to ensure efficiency. Actually, I thought that wasn't new dialogue, but I think it is. Following the calamity, each nation's armed forces underwent large-scale restructuring centered upon its Grand Company. In Gridania, the Order of the Twin Adder absorbed both the Wood Whalers and the God's Quiver, while the Lamentsins enact the complete merger of the Maelstrom and the Knights of the Barracuda. Ul'dah is the odd nation out, having made no notable changes to its armed forces. As before, and in the spirit of the Sultanate, each entity retains a certain degree of independence. Let me see if I've got this right. You're an adventurer who's a scion and a serpent? Golly, how do you keep track of everything? It must be fun pairing up with lots of different people, though. Me? I'm always a Papalimo. Come to think of it, why am I always a Papalimo? I heard tell one of my brothers came through not long ago. Looks like I just missed him, though. I ain't seen either one of them since the calamity. Didn't even know if they were still alive. But after running into folk who swore they knew me time and again, I reckoned they had to be out there somewhere. I've been traveling and peddling in the hopes I'd find me brothers ever since. If you see a feller what looks like me, let him know that Brennan's looking for him, would you? So this is a joke about the fact that every city's opening character is this guy, just dressed in a different color. We will continue to focus our efforts on investigating the primals. The Amulja are not the only tribe that has succeeded in summoning its deity. Fate shall be thy guide. When our purposes become one, once again shall our paths lead us here. Our city of learning is now naught but shadows. Ere the light of dawn breaketh, shall we follow whither the sand blows. Wait, was that it, or did I... Okay, yes it was. Have we met somewhere before? You must be quite the accomplished adventurer to be welcomed into these halls. Me? No one's ever expected much of me, and so far I've done a fine job of living down to their expectations. I've been chatting with Persevanes, and we both swear there was another member of our crew. We still ain't figured out a way to prove who he was, but you just wait and see. It won't be long before everyone sees us for the heroes we were. Oh! I didn't realize there was one here. I'm not going to get that right now because I don't have anywhere to play it, but there's orchestrion rules, which allows you to play the music, which you can do in rooms, and people can also create orchestrions in player housing. There. I'm not sure I grasp the purpose of these remembrance ceremonies. Whether you remember it or rewrite the past, what does it matter? It isn't as though you can repeat it. Oops. I keep clicking around. Our present-day enemies ought to serve as sufficient motivation, don't you think? The only lesson I believe we should take from the calamity is that far greater threats can and will appear. I hear you pledge yourself to a grand company. Me? I don't think I could do it. I'd never feel like one of them, no matter what the recruiters say. Is that everybody in here? I think so. Oh, but one of that dude's brothers runs the Limsa Inn. I'm pretty sure. Welcome back, Momo. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called me to regale me with the tales of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Momo. Now, when we last spoke, I said that I want you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Tataru, please show them in. This way, sirs. Biggs and Wedge. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. But I don't think we properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... Gods, man, spit it out, will ya? Wedge, at your service. I am pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions such as airships grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as keepers of this technology. Of course, for this we needed knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness. Self-management. Manphilia needs you to investigate the sylphs.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gizzlegreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
It's true, they really do look like gizzlegreens.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Dankreader, you're not even a dad yet. What's with the dad jokes?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Your mission is to make contact with the sylphs, with the ultimate goal of finding a peaceful resolution to the threat posed by Ramu. Be fairly warned, the sylphs are a unique people to say the least, and you may find yourself bewildered by their customs at first. Yet know that Ida and Papalima will be on hand to support all your endeavors. We gotta go back to Gridania first. Got it. We know far too little of the sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the scions once more if we are to. Beg pardons. 'Tis a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? We come in peace. Commander Vorsail Helwa has been awaiting the aid of the scions. Well, if it isn't Private Jagaimo reporting for duty, that's the zeal I like to see from an enterprising young serpent. If you're not in this grand company, they have slightly different dialogue. Good day, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Yuna and Papalymo, always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the Scions. You quest in the name of the Scions at late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the Twelveswood home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the Elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder is of the same mind, and 'tis precisely for this reason that the Sylphs' relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning against our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of the primal may disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility that we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry, indeed. Do we strike at Ramu, or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but listening only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. The Sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bears little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorn Hut. Icon words. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as how to win the Sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the Sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorn Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from West Shore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalymo. Or I could just teleport. Are you gonna force me to take the ferry? Yep. Closest is the Lancers Guild. Got it. Aye, the ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to the East Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find the Hawthorn Hut without too much trouble. Yeah, I know. But most people probably haven't been there because most people are probably not a weirdo like me. Indeed, I am Emmeline of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn of the Sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot. particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more, you do well to speak with the master of this hut, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Hello. Sylphic Studies. Rolf Hawthorne, patriarch of the beekeeping Hawthorne family, is said to be well versed in sylphic customs. Coming to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're, beg pardon, friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. See, it's funny that they say he's supposed to be old when he doesn't actually look that old. But then again, you don't need to be elderly to have memory troubles. The sylphs? Yes, Father's told me his story plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best to not underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. What levels are these? 20, so we're just gonna leave those missions alone. No point in doing them, really. There we go. The quickest way to a quiver woman's heart may be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs onto a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. The sylphs? Inveterate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing morbid faces on our masks, the next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. Well, certainly not the ravine one. So they're like some of the old school fairy tales that I accidentally clicked. You know, the ones where the old fairies always never played nice tricks. In that they're not just etiquette, but it's orange and blue morality instead of black and white morality. Their knowledge of what is right and wrong is vastly different. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting amongst their kind. You do well to remember this. It might just help win the favor of our forest friends. Oh, here, I can read the part I missed. Oh, of course. Hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yeah, okay. First impressions. Rolf Hawthorne would share further knowledge to assist you in befriending the sylphs. Oh, still there, huh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along what was it again? My wife, Rosa, and I were just speaking of the matter days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than mine own. What am I doing? I have a chocobo. Well, right this second, I've got one of these little guys. Excuse me. Sorry for mouth noises. A peace offering for the sylphs. Were it anyone else, I'd recommend a jar of honey, but I fear that wouldn't get you past their front doorstep, dear. No, their tastes run more to the unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milkroot? That's what we call the root of that most fiendish seed kit, the ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'd not catch me dead trying to eat the stuff, but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow, with some of this amber syrup, for example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Oh hey! You guys are on my hunting log. These guys' death noises are extremely human, and that's kind of disturbing. Oh, you want me to kill one of these guys too, huh? Did I not spend much time here? I guess I must not have. No, I think by the time I got here, I was rushing trying to just fill out my map. Because these guys too. Alright, I need one more treant sapling. Ah. There we go. Curioctusoc. A nutrient-rich alchemical solution, alchemical compound used to quicken seedkin growth. Is this amber syrup? Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? The thick white sap extracted from this ochu root has the power to grant its user wondrously terrible visions. Milkroot. But of course, those sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Any road, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and sister within the moment they lay eyes on it. Now, let me wrap it up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. I mean, given that their seeds and spit can, give people poison, I wouldn't want to be exposed to its body fluids. First contact. Rolf Hawthorne has gift-wrapped your offering in preparation for your journey into the Sylph's domain. I have taken the liberty of wrapping your milkroot well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from that god's awful stench. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the moorball that put an end to my adventuring days. Oh, he's got lingering poison and such. But I can tell you that story another time. You've much more important matters to attend to today, yes? The sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know they're kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full-flower mead with your name on it, if you'd regale me with your adventuring tales. Oh, and before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Eveline here would like to have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. It's good to see your knowledge of Sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Kumoxio. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and has the close ear of his tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver, a missive from the elder Seedseer herself. To summarize the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. It's such a little thing, but the fact that the surrounding insect and frog noises got so much louder when I left the house, that's such a minor aspect of audio design, but it's also really nice. It's a good touch. I hate these things. I hate them less than spiders. Oh hey, you're on my hunting log! Sit. There we go. I love the music in here. Walking one is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking one should go home and leave this one be. And now we get to dance. This one would welcome walking one who moves like these ones. If walking one would talk to this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so walking one should speak with quick tongue. Walking one would bring gift to this one. Walking one is most kind. Okay, we already did that, and an important missive penned by the elder Seedseer Kane Sana and addressed to the Sylph Elder. Walking one brings milkroot. Milkroot fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Root gives many, many thanks. Walking one carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking one should not worry. Hello there. We're envoys from Gridania, and we're here to treat with your people. Aye, we come to pay our respects to your elder and to learn from him more of your Lord Ramu. Who are these ones? These walking ones come from Gridania? Walking one becomes a dancing one and brought milkroot, but walking one tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder one is busy. Walking one should go home. Go home, you say? But the Sylphs of Little Sauce have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with open wings. The letter carried by Momo here is an oath of peace penned by the Elder Seedseer herself. Still you would refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of Walking One's. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking One waste everyone's time. Well, I never. Turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Was Momo's jig insufficiently jiggy? I am as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around to see how we might earn their trust. I'm not going to use any of those, let's be real. Kind walking ones, listening ones, and masked ones, protect these ones. Protect little souls from nasty ones who would steal these ones' homes. Walking ones are kind and strong, but those ones cannot rely on walking ones alone. No, all ones must work together, that one day these ones may return home. It's very funny to me that this dialogue is so much more peaceful than their previous discussion. Walking one may think this one's home is small, but this one is biggest home of all. The forest itself is this one's home. What does walking one think of that? By virtue of the crystal trade, the sylphs have maintained friendly terms with most every race in Eorzea. Alas, the appearance of Ramu has been as a storm cloud over relations. If peace is to be secured, we must reopen a dialogue with the sylphs before they have a chance to summon their god again. Dance, dance, diplomacy. Fuck, I forgot how good these names are. Yida has a notion of how one might earn the sylphs' trust. Say, Momo, are you in the mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all that Sorry, yawn out of the blue. You went through all that trouble to learn the sylphs' traditional greeting, but you've greeted hardly any of them. Why, if I were a sylph, I besides myself would delight to see an adventurer expressing an interest in my culture. Me? Of course I'd be happy to join. Ow, ow! There goes those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Sylphs are, by and large, a bright and happy kind of folk, but those who have left their homeland behind have grown nervous and wary. I would ask that you do nothing to startle them. Walking one's belly is rumbling. This one is not making a meal. This one is boiling bark and flower seeds to dye thread. Color must be jolly, and so must greet making. So we get a dance. This person's doing the same quest. Ooh, walking one knows Jolly Dance. Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. It's adorable. This one is weaving cloth. Weaving one should know more. This one does not trust walking ones who do not show respect. But oh, look at this. They use is this Now here's my question. Is this to do with the weaving, or is this just decoration on the thingamajig? On the house? It's impossible to tell. Walking would be a friend to these ones? This one is overjoyed. But this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if Walking One learns a secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. So I'm guessing it's magic related. Yeah, you can get fabric from these guys. It's one of their exports. What do Walking One want with this one? Elder One warned this one not to get too friendly with the Walking Ones. They're so freaking cute, though. They really do look like floating Gissel greens, though. Oh, Walking One is a friend to these ones. Friendly like the gracious elder of one of Forest City. Knows how to dance into these ones' hearts. They're just tiny cabbage aliens. I mean, just look at them. Literal Cabbage Patch Kids. Momo, would you like to hear the good news or the better news? The good news is that your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of Little Solace. The better news? Why, I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. Lazy. Forest friend, Papalimo has a notion of how you might endear yourself to the sylphs of Little Solace. Momo, as an adventurer, you're no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of a local populace can go from stranger to hero or knight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. The sylphs who make their homes in Little Solace do so having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled sylphs and see what they might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You'd be better off inquiring with the hearer Amedia. Of the Gridanians who reside here, she is most likely to be privy to the sylphs' troubles. Praise be to the elementals. I cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants for amenities, not least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts from malls around here are free to wander in and terrorize the helpless residents. The Gorlins and gal gnats that roam these parts are especially troublesome, but slaying one of these each should serve as a warning to the rest. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 3 brownie bushes as well. They play an important part in sylphic culture. I do not claim to know the details. And what with such feral beasts prowling these woods, they are not easily come by. When you are done with the deeds, seek out Kumuxio. He is slow to warm to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. My own experience speaks to this. Alright, well, fortunately these little guys are right nearby. Yeah, I'm almost 10 levels, 12 levels over leveled for this. But that's what happens when you do side missions. I had never noticed the, boing sound effect when you summon and unsummon the fat chocobo. Hello! I almost never come over here. I never really have any reason to. Oh, it was just one of each. Okay. Hello. Dancing One is still here? Dancing One can dance all night. This one's trust is not so easily earned. Legend says that Eorzea was once inhabited by a race of tiny creatures called brownies, and they would use the spores of this particular mushroom to paint their faces for battle. Dancing One brings brownie bushes for this one? This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing One kills Bitey Buzzy One? This one hates Bitey Buzzy Ones. Dancing One is kind. Too kind. Maybe walking ones come to these ones' abode, but few are friendly like walking one, like dancing one. Perhaps this one was wrong to not trust dancing one after all. Kumuxi of Losas would entrust you with a task, presence of the enemy. This one asks Dancing One for forgiveness. These ones have many troubles since walking ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. But Dancing One is not like other ones. This one can trust Dancing One. This one would ask for Dancing One's help. Strange walking ones with bodies of steel came to the homes of these ones. This one thinks steel ones comes from Empire. Where Empire goes, many living ones will become dead ones. Trees fall and bushes burn. These ones' home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing One to help this one no more. Dancing One is friends with these ones and walking ones, yes? Dancing One must speak to these ones here, and walking ones in Hut House and find out more. This one has bad feeling. This one fears steel ones are after something. But this one should speak no more. Go, Dancing One. This one depends on the kindness of Dancing One. Strange steel walking ones? Yes, this one is seen. Steel walking ones carry big boxes. Maybe walking one hunts for shiny treasure? This one likes treasure. Shush! Shush, this one says. Steel walking ones are scary, like touched ones. This one hates scary. The scary ones have scary friends. So there's, right over here, I'm pretty sure, like, in this section, there's a bunch of, Empire troops. The problem with the Fat Chocobo is that it's going the exact same speed as other mounts. But because him's so chunky, it feels so much slower. Goes to show how, like, subtle visual differences can change how your experience with a mount. Fearsome types clad head to toe in steel, you say? Imperial soldiers, no doubt. I couldn't tell you what they're plotting, but I'm sure it's nothing good. Men clad in strange armor. Why, now that you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. So, my dears, I actually think this is where I'm gonna end it for tonight. I would usually try to go a little bit longer, but I'm not really feeling it, so, yeah, I think that's it from me. Tomorrow, or Sunday, will be some hidden object game stuffs. And let's see, who have we not? I don't think anyone is actually... Icy's doing blood typers! Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and raid Icy because Icy is an excellent bean. But, yeah. Thank you again for folks for coming out. Take care, stay safe until we talk again. Have a good one. Let's go say hi to Icy.